Hey folks, Phil Gallagher here for Daily D&T. I think we're up to number 37 now. Let's battle. We're still playing the three-color taxes list that I started playing with yesterday for you. I'll be keeping this hand. We have a reasonable sort of like mono-white hand for the first couple of turns. And now I notice my misplay of not swapping out my planes for better art planes. We'll see if that comes and bites me in the butt at any point this league. Alright, against Snow-Covered Swamp, Thalia is probably going to be a pretty great thing to lead on. This could just be like a Depths or Reanimator deck that's just playing Snow-Covered lands to juke. This could just be one of the various 3 to 5 color control decks that are running around right now. It could be Pox. Unclear currently. But I'm leaning towards this being a mono black deck. Like, opening on Snow-Covered Swamp without any fetch would be pretty unusual for a control deck of any kind. Well, a multicolor control deck of any kind. I think I'm going to go ahead and show that and play Stoneforge. Assuming this makes it around the table, I'll want either Batterskull or Sword of Fire and Ice. I'm going to go ahead and get Batterskull. If this is Pox, this thing, like, bouncing repeatedly will be real annoying. Yes! One of my favorite Magic cards. Mad respect to our opponent here. My opponent is also a person of culture. Unfortunately, I have the Swords to Plowshares here. Oh, nice. Let's go ahead and revoke a Planeswalker here. Let's go Liliana of the Veil. So we'll get an end of their turn Batterskull in. Plenty of things that can go wrong. Dead of Winter wiping the field this turn would be a little obnoxious. Another big boy! Okay. Second one of those is going to be a little harder to answer. What's my plan? So I can just get Sword of Fire and Ice and make something that's bigger than it, take 1,000,000,000 damage, be sad. I think I'm just going to hardcast this now. I don't have much of a reason to leave up the Stoneforge activation. And it's not like my opponent is going to be playing something at sorcery speed that will answer this. Alright. Dead of Winter conveniently leaving this alive here. So on my opponent's turn, I can bounce my Batter Skull. Then on my turn, I can redeploy and equip if I have a land, and then like sadly trade with the Obliterator. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I have 2 of my pieces of equipment. I'm not going to do too much searching now. Although I should keep an eye on what goes to exile. Wasteland not looking the best here. Just to throw it out there, a Fatal Push or equivalent gives my opponent such a huge mana advantage here. Okay, my opponent's deck is officially sweet. Alright, there goes PNK. Alright. Am I willing to junk 6 permanents to get Obliterator off the table? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would leave me with 2 lands. I could attack into Rotting Regisaur and trade. Oy. I don't think I can take the hit. Because I'll go down to 9, and then a removal spell next turn would just kill me. Alright, I accept. Oh, it hurts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just leaving myself with double planes rather than leaving myself with access to red. This is a great draw. I'm going to go ahead and just attack the Planeswalker. Because I think the block happens either way. Alright, we'll see what terrible things happen now. They need more mana? Okay, they just him away my Wisp. That's fine. Oh. Oh god. So they just get an extra card every turn. Okay, so this is why I wanted to attack the Planeswalker, by the way. This sort of exact scenario. My opponent's deck list is awesome. I think they could have drawn a card end of turn. I might be missing something. Or maybe they want to get Hellbent for something. Oh, man. Alright, I am at 26th life. I have some time. My position is not ideal, though. My opponent might have another Tombstalker or something. Oh, is it just going to be like, mill me, play another Ashiok, mill me? That is exactly what it's going to be. I'm down to 17 cards left in library. I might just mill before I get killed if I answer the Tarmogoyf. Okay, yeah, so I can answer the Tarmogoyf, or sorry, not Tarmogoyf. I can answer the Tombstalker. And then what? Okay, I kind of got a freebie card out of that. But, like, this is still a problem. This is also a problem. We'll be going to 3 with this. Okay. Starting to get nervous. I should really start thinking about like exactly what cards are left in my deck and play towards lines accordingly. But I think since the Palace Jailer is in there, that's always staying at 3 at this point. I am not sure that I have outs any longer. Like, the Ashiok is going to minus me to 3 cards left in library, then kill me. So if I have a Phyrexian Revoker left as this card, yeah, so I can recruit or take the last card out of my library and then die the following turn. GG, I got absolutely obliterated here. So I'm going to want Path for big stupid things. I'm going to want Gideon for a late game thing. I'm probably going to want Cataclysm just to blow up all their lands. The Crater Maker seems reasonable, as does Council Judgment and Leonin Relic Warder. What is bad? Magus of the Moon not seeming too hot here. I can consider Rest in Peace because of Tombstalker, but I don't... unless I see more graveyard-based synergy, I don't think that's enough. Some portion of the equipment package is not going to be great. Like, Jitte's probably kind of questionable. Maybe I'll trim a Stoneforge. Let me, like, double check and make sure I like all this stuff. Maybe Gideon's ambitious and hard to cast. But it's just chump blockers against, like, well, not against Obliterator. This is an awkward sideboarding situation. I didn't really see too much single target removal. Maybe I should cut like 1 or 2 moms just in respect of the sweepers. And then just like... Actually, Stoneforge is probably much worse due to the Ashioks. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, let's run it like this. I would like to play first. So this does almost nothing. This doesn't do much with current hand. This has utility, but it's probably not worth keeping a hand on. I'm going to go ahead and ship this and try to look for something stronger. I will keep this, and I'm going to ship back 1 of the 2 Council's Judgments. I'm not really interacting with my opponent at all right now. But I think this is a hand that has great potential. So like now, I Stoneforge, I go and get the Batter Skull. Well, that's my opponent, like Fatal Pushes in response, then I'll get Sword of Fire and Ice instead. I'm still going to get the Batter Skull, even though I kind of think they have Fatal Push now. Like, if that was a pause that was a bluff, I need to call that. Great, 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 great. All right. See how it goes. I accept that. I accept that. I mean, I did kind of, like, lose the things that made me keep the hand, but, like, keeping the Batter Skull is probably very good, and having an out to their first big creature or planeswalker is also quite useful. Here we go. 1 big boy. Batter Skull plus Mom is superior to that, though. So that's okay. Let's tick this up since I can cast a 2-drop if I draw one. Nice. So, short-sighted play is just like Flicker Wisp this thing, crash in for 5. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and hold my Flicker Wisp and use it to protect Mother of Runes. My opponent doesn't do anything to impact board by their second main phase. I will just Flicker Wisp my Stoneforge and take another card. That way I have something to do with my mana if I don't draw a land. Okay, well, I have to respond to that. So there's this world now where instead of Aether Vial, this hits Mother of Runes, but I don't think I can give up putting the Flicker Wisp in play, because long-term, Flicker Wisp with Batter Skull on it is a plan if Mom were to get answered some other way. So, like, for example, if my opponent has Fatal Push, they just, like, Fatal Push the Mom, and not putting in the Flicker Wisp would be devastating. I think I'm in great shape if I rip a land. Otherwise, I'm still in good shape. And we'll say always no to this now. Awesome. So we have the opponent on a 3-turn clock here. That's a fine draw. I don't think I actually want to play this, though. I think I just want to turn all my creatures sideways and then hard cast my sword. I have more than enough power in play to have lethal next turn. I even have lethal next turn through a removal spell, so I just want to have an extra body around for if my opponent has Dead of Winter, which is, you know, their big out right now. Yeah, so I just have lethal in the air. If I draw a... Yeah, okay, and they figured it out. Doesn't look like anything is going to make me want to change cards here. So, I'll be keeping this hand. It's a hand that has multiple answers to big creatures. I'll be a little soft to, like, a better Planeswalker start than that. That's totally fine. Like, I can revoke that on turn 2, and then if we trade resources for a little while, that'll probably end up favoring me. Oh, did my opponent not have another land? I like that. There's some merit to just like playing the Ether Vial that turn rather than this Revoker. For just that reason. Okay, yeah, that's all fine. So now I get to just kill this, and then I can use my Flicker Wisp to reset my Revoker to something scarier if I'd like. I don't really know that I do. I could set it to the Endless Atlas. I might go ahead and do that. I can reset again if it's a problem. Sure, you thought it's easy to take my other Wisp or my Council Judgment. Crash in there. Now I need to make a choice about how I want to play this next turn cycle. I want to deny mana. The question is, like, do I hold a Flicker Wisp back, or do I Flicker Wisp, Flicker House one of my lands, and then port? If I take the throw the Wisp in play line, I'm a little softer to Dead of Winter off Dark Ritual, but otherwise it's very strong. Since my opponent is stumbling, I'm going to try to press the advantage that I currently have. Let's say no to that. So we're in the same spot as last turn where, like, basically Dark Ritual is the big card that we care about. All right, good stuff. I'm going to take a minute and message my opponent and see if I can get their deck list. I hope you enjoyed today's daily D&T. My opponent's deck was awesome. See you tomorrow.